Hi everyone, my name is Caitlin Emerson. I am an Education Abroad Advisor, the Education Abroad Office here at the University of Wyoming, and I'm here to talk to you today about our different options for students to study abroad in North Africa and the Middle East. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that. But first I wanted to mention some COVID considerations because I know that's at the forefront of everybody's mind, especially when they're considering travel these days. So go ahead and read this slide. This slide gives you some good information. We are canceling all of our faculty-directed programs with start dates before July 15th. That doesn't include individual programs or program providers. So if you're still interested in going abroad this summer but want to go on a program provider program, we'd be happy to sit down and talk to you about that because those will be accepted on a case-by-case basis. We'll make a determination about faculty-directed programs with an August start date in late spring. We still plan to send students abroad in fall 2021, and any student who is going abroad during the COVID-19 pandemic will be asked to sign a waiver. However, with all of that, I do want to mention that our students' safety and health is always at the forefront of all of our decisions. And so we're always closely monitoring the ongoing coronavirus situation and working with our partners to ensure the health and safety of our students. Okay, so to begin, what can you gain from study abroad? Besides being able to travel and experience the world, there are a lot of really great outcomes from going abroad and participating in an education abroad opportunity. The first one is that you get to meet locals. You get to meet people from all over the world, whether that's international students studying alongside you or local students from the school that you'll be studying at, or even students from across the United States also on an exchange. You get to meet people and you really get to build relationships with them. In contrast to traveling just for a couple of weeks, maybe around Europe or whatever you decide to do, you really get to immerse yourself in the culture, make friends, and make lifelong connections. And so that's a really great thing about study abroad in comparison to just vacation traveling. Alongside that, you also build a global network. So you, like I said, make friends from all over the world. And that is really something that you can't get by just attending classes at the University of Wyoming. So that's something that a lot of students tap into when they end up studying abroad. In addition to that, a lot of our schools have connections that maybe the University of Wyoming doesn't. So a lot of our partners have connections that may be able to actually help you in future jobs. You can use them as references, you can use them in making connections and just building a global network. So for example, the one example that I like to use is our partner university in South Korea, Sungkyunkwan University. Called SKKU. They actually partner with Samsung. And so this is a really great university for students who are engineering majors, specifically mechanical engineering, because you really get to build that global network. You get to network with people that you otherwise wouldn't be able to at the University of Wyoming. You gain transferable skills that a lot of employers are always looking for. Skills that otherwise maybe you wouldn't be able to gain living just on campus, or skills that you would really be able to hone and pull specific examples from in interviews. So for example, problem solving, being able to communicate across cultures, being self-reliant and self-managing, I suppose would be the right word for that, are all things that employers are looking for. Really somebody who's independent and can demonstrate different things that our students often gain during their education abroad experience. With all of that, you really unlock new opportunities that you otherwise wouldn't have beforehand. New things really start to come to the forefront of your life. You realize maybe what you want to do, what you don't want to do. You realize maybe what you want to study or what field you would like to go in, and all of that. All of the experiences that you have abroad really culminate together to unlock those opportunities for you. So what are your options? Well, today we're talking specifically about exchange and direct enroll programs in North Africa and the Middle East. So if you're interested in studying in one of these locations specifically for an academic year or a semester, we'll be talking about those. However, there are program providers and faculty directed programs that go to these locations that I will touch on here in a minute. But if you have any questions about any of this, or if you want to explore any other programs, feel free to reach out to me. I'm the advisor for North Africa and the Middle East, and I'd be happy to work with you to answer any questions and to help you begin the process. Okay, so exchange in Africa. We only actually have one exchange in Africa, and I'll talk about some of the specific details about this exchange. But what exactly is an exchange? An exchange is a one-to-one exchange with one of UW's partner universities. So our partner university in North Africa is in Morocco. It's called Al Akaiwan University. You do pay UW tuition and fees, so you pay the same things that you're paying at the University of Wyoming, and you are able to earn transfer credit at UW. So the credits that you earn abroad at your time, during your time in Morocco would transfer back to your degree and be applicable towards your degree at the University of Wyoming. This exchange is special. Most of our exchanges require you to pay the cost of living to the university that you intend on attending. So for example, if you attended an exchange in the UK, you would be required to pay the cost of living in those residence halls or living in an apartment. However, at Al Akaiwan University, you actually pay UW housing and meal plan. So if you have a scholarship that covers the UW residence halls and a UW meal plan, this can be applied, and then your housing will be covered at the University in Morocco. Okay, just to go over some details regarding AUI, it's a fairly small school. It is based on the liberal arts model. There's only about 2,000 enrolled students, but it is a really great school for students who want to do engineering or computer sciences. They are ABET accredited, and a lot of the classes are taught in English, where it's the main language of instruction. There are Arabic classes as well. So if you're wanting to learn maybe Arabic or even French, French is a predominant language in Morocco, you can take courses in that specific language regarding that language. So let me back up for a second. You're able to take those classes as an English speaker. So they are targeted towards students who are attempting to learn a language. Additionally, there are humanities classes that are available to students. The location of this school is near Morocco's Middle Atlas Mountains. The elevation is fairly similar to that of Laramie, maybe a little bit lower. They do call Ifrane, which is the city that this university is located in, the Switzerland of Morocco. It's very historic, and it's really a beautiful city. And you can read more about the student life at the bottom of this slide. So if you're interested in attending an exchange at Al Akaiwan University, please feel free to email me. I'm happy to walk you through this, and we can talk about what your options would be. Okay, so we don't necessarily have any direct enrolls in North Africa. We do have one direct enroll school at Haifa in Israel, the University of Haifa in Israel. A direct enroll is where you pay tuition and fees directly to that partner university, and you earn transfer credit. So all of these would be considered in their own right direct enrolls. So again, there's this option at the University of Haifa in Israel. They're very humanities based. So if you're an arts and sciences student, if you're studying humanities or political science or anything along those lines, or international studies, this would be a really great school for you. It's also a really great school for religious studies students, as well as Israel is kind of a hub of religion in the Middle East. So if you want to study all of that kind of in one place, then I highly recommend the University of Haifa in Israel. There's also the American University of Sharjah in the UAE, United Arab Emirates. That is a very popular one. It is fairly expensive, but if you were interested in this, most of the courses would be taught in English. There's this program with our partner called ISA in Morocco. Again, all of your classes would be in English, and you would be taking classes in Morocco. In a different city, in the city Meknes, and not Ifrain, like the previous exchange. And then this opportunity here, the Israel Olive Tree Initiative, isn't necessarily direct enroll, but we do have students who go on this program with one of our faculty members, and it's a really, really great experience for our students to study political science and international studies and sort of international relations. So if you're interested in this, please reach out and I can get you in contact with that faculty member. I know that students who have gone on the Olive Tree Initiative in Israel previously have really enjoyed it. Okay, so you're interested in going abroad, you're interested in attending one of these schools. What do you do next? So the first thing to do is to create a profile in the Cowboys Abroad portal. If you need help finding this, please reach out to me, please contact me. I'm happy to give you that link. But that is your very first step. You'll just watch some videos and let us know what you're interested in, and then you'll schedule an appointment with me. And then once you schedule an appointment with me, you and I will meet to discuss your interests in going abroad. If you're interested in doing North Africa and the Middle East, again, I would be your advisor. However, if you're interested in going to another location, you would choose a different advisor based on, based on that location. So that's all listed on our website. If you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out. After you've met with myself or another Education Abroad advisor, you will decide on a program. And once you decide on that program, sort of working together and deciding what's best for you academically, time-wise, and financially, you'll complete the UW Study Abroad application. So that's sort of the general application process. And I'll walk you through that, or your Education Abroad advisor will walk you through that once you meet with them. So the application timeline, you'll want to complete your application by the deadline. We do highly recommend that you meet with us as soon as possible. The earlier the better, means you can plan more. However, if you came in and you wanted to go abroad, for example, for the fall or academic year, we ask that you come in before March 15th and meet with us and complete your application. If you wanted to go abroad during the spring semester, you would apply by October 15th. Then if you wanted to do a J term or a summer term program, these are those application deadlines. Okay, costs and scholarships, some costs to consider. Some things to consider when it comes to the cost is that the cost can vary by program type. So like I said, there are different programs. So you pay either university tuition and fees if you go on an exchange, or you pay the fees directly to that university or to that program if you're going on a direct enroll. So thinking about that and considering those differences in fees can really affect how much you end up paying for your semester, year, summer, or J term abroad. The location can also greatly affect this. So for example, if you were to study in Morocco at the university or at AUI, that exchange that I talked about, the cost of living is significantly lower than the cost of living in the United Arab Emirates. So if you were interested in doing an exchange or doing a program in North Africa and the Middle East, and cost is something that you really need to consider, then consider the location and consider which location would be better for you financially. And then obviously the length of the program. If you intend to go for a semester, for a full academic year, or for a summer, is really going to affect how much you're going to pay. Other costs to consider when just planning your education abroad experience, think about airfare. If you need to get any sort of visa, there are some visa costs associated to those. If you need to get a passport, you may need to plan to pay for the passport fee, housing, and any other living expenses. These are all things that your education abroad advisor will walk you through, but those are things for you to consider when you're thinking about the cost of your program. There are lots of scholarships for our students to apply for, and I highly recommend applying for those. The Cheney Scholarship, you can be awarded up to $2,500 with this one. It's a really great award. It's actually the largest education abroad endowment of any public land grant university in the country, basically meaning that we have a lot of money to be able to give our students to go abroad. We've awarded over 2,000 scholarships since 2007 and award over $300,000 every year in Cheney scholarships. There's also the UniWyo scholarship, which is up to $2,500. If you were to apply to both of these, you could only get one. So that is something to consider, but I do highly recommend applying to both. It just increases your chances of being able to receive the scholarship. If you go with a program provider, they may offer their own specific scholarships, depending on what college or department you're in. Here at the University of Wyoming, they may offer study abroad scholarships. For example, I know communications, religious studies, arts and sciences, engineering, and business all offer their own study abroad scholarships. So those are things to definitely tap into. And then also just check WYO scholarships and type in study abroad and search what other opportunities are available. Okay, and that's all we had for you today. I know that presentation was fairly quick, but if you wanted to get credit for this through SOAR, there is a QR code here. You would get credit towards your cultural competency portion of SOAR. So there's that. And then if you intend to participate in our contest, which is just a series of questions for you to answer, and we'll turn that into a raffle for people to get swag, UWYO Abroad swag, really cool things like reusable utensils, sweatshirts, t-shirts, that kind of stuff. Scan this QR code and participate in that. One of the questions for our contest is to guess our secret location. So each day this week, we've posted videos, or we've hosted sessions, and at the end of each session, there is a secret location clue. And so by using these clues, if you're able to guess the secret location on our contest, you will earn extra points. So today's clue is: this city is home to a famous Christmas market. And if you're curious about other clues, feel free to go back and check out the recordings from our other presentations, both yesterday and Monday. Okay, just some upcoming events to consider for our students is February 22nd is National Study Abroad Day. That day we will actually have a Gilman Scholarship Workshop. The Gilman Scholarship is a national scholarship opportunity for Pell eligible students who want to go abroad. So if you're interested in going abroad this coming academic year, I highly recommend applying for this. If you're Pell Grant eligible, you can receive up to $5,000 for programs that are anywhere from 3 weeks long to 1 year long. So if you're interested in this, I highly recommend watching out for that Gilman Scholarship Workshop link and joining us. April 5th and May 3rd, we'll have 2 information sessions for students who just want more information about travel in general. So considering different logistics while you're abroad, things like health and safety, accessing your funds, budgeting, getting a cell phone, things like that. And then a visa information session. So what is a visa? What does that mean? How do you get one? How do you apply for one? How much does it cost? Everything like that we'll kind of cover in that session. Okay, and then if you have any questions, feel free to email us. Our general email is uwyobd@uwyo.edu to set up an advising appointment. You can also email myself. My name is Caitlin Emerson, and my email address, I realized isn't posted here, is KEMERSON, so K Emerson @uwyo.edu, and we'd be happy to meet with you. Okay. Thank you.